only need to go to the store for toilet paper and aluminum foil. Do you have soil that is hard as woodpecker lips and full of weeds? Well, guess what? Today, you're gonna definitely wanna watch this because we're gonna show you how you can not only improve your soil the easy way, but also get a crop, and probably a fall crop at the same time. Alrighty, let's start with the materials. So right here, I got some ballin' cardboard, and trust me, all cardboard is not made the same. In a short coming up, I'm probably gonna tell you where I find my cardboard and where you can get it too. Right here, we got straw. This stuff hasn't been sprayed, and believe it or not, it's actually less expensive than the stuff that was sprayed. You just gotta look around and find it. Now let's talk about where we're gonna put this garden in. You're probably wondering, how on earth is he gonna do that with cardboard and straw? Well, it's gonna be done in stages. Remember, we don't win this war in miles, we win it in inches. But as we go along to the site, look at this. Got oregano going to seed, bees, I know you can't see it right now, but they're absolutely covering it. Marshmallow, bunch of goldenrod over here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just don't want it here. And it's also a sign that I got a few problems over here, but that's exactly what we do. In permaculture, the problem is the solution. Case in point, right where I'm standing, this, for those that don't know, is a food forest, okay? Now that way, it's doing quite well. This bottom part where I'm standing right now and going that way, it's been somewhat neglected because we just, like everybody else, you find yourself too busy. Well, check this out. In other parts in the orchard, I could with one hand be able to stab this thing plumb down to here in a lot of places. Look at this. And it just rained not too long ago. Okay, that's a bad sign. That ground is messed up from the feet up, but it's not all bad. We got pioneers coming in around here. A lot of people call them weeds. But I'm guessing $1 to donuts that there are a ton of people out there that are dealing with exactly the same thing. Or let's say you put in an orchard, or better still, like we're in a food forest right now that's emerging. And you're thinking, okay, I got my tree, got my nitrogen fixer, got my shrubs, got all 7 layers like Billy talks about all the time, but you got all this open space in between that you haven't done anything with. Now, in time, these trees are gonna grow up and make a canopy to where I can't necessarily do what I'm gonna do today. Until that happens, why not make it very useful? So, as we take a little more of a trek over here, we got some flowers in here. Now, folks, admittedly, this is not my best virtue, is looking at the beauty and things. This is a beginning. This is Michelle's little area. We had to plant a pet over here, and look, just made it a beautiful spot. Got a little bit of everything popping up out of here, but we're gonna build on that. Well, over here where I'm standing, why not make it productive? So check out what you're gonna learn in this video. We're gonna take our perennials, which is essentially what everything in this area is, and we're gonna combine it with your annuals. And we're gonna do it the easiest way you've ever seen in your life. And it will blow your mind. In fact, here in a minute, I'm gonna take you to a spot where we've already done this for a couple of years. And folks, that soil went from being hard as 3 times 9 to being something that you could practically stick your elbow up to. And it didn't require us tilling or anything else. So let me go get the materials and we're going to get started. So let's talk about the vision here. Okay, I got my cardboard, got my straw. Now we're going to walk this way. I know that this entire area is going to be reformed. Let's call it that way, because you can change things anytime you want. If you get out here, you did everything right, you put it on paper, then when you see it on the ground, you're like, man, I really like to make a few changes here. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about it in a later video, what's going on over there. But for right now, what I want to focus on is this particular area. Now, got a blueberry here, got a blueberry there, got the flowers over there, got a bunch of goldenrod. Now that's the problem, right? We're going to show you how we make all this the solution. But this is the site that I'm using. Remember, it's going to be annuals, but we'll come to that in a minute. So the first thing I want to do, if I wanted to just lay this cardboard down right now in this area, I could go ahead and do it. But because I want wood chips ultimately over all of this, I'm going to basically tie this ring that's around this blueberry, that ring that's around that blueberry right there. I'm going to eventually tie those together in terms of the wood mulch that I have here and the wood mulch I have here. So I'm just thinking a little step in the future. But at this point, if I had any raw manure that was handy, I would put that down right here in the site where I intend to do it. I don't have any raw manure handy. It's all out in the field. So I'm going to use something that to me is just as good. I'm going to use green manure. So where on earth can I get it? Remember, permaculture, the problem is the solution. So I'm just going to look around and see what I got here. Goldenrod, goldenrod, goldenrod. It's not a bad thing. I just don't want it there, okay? I got a few more bits of goldenrod. Goldenrod. This would work better if I had my rice knife, but this is why this is part of my EDC. Goldenrod, goldenrod, I don't even need to cut it. I'm just gonna throw all this stuff down, but I'm gonna tell you the pièce de résistance is what's over here. Got a blueberry next to this apple. But what's all this in here? This is comfort, y'all. This is a dynamic accumulator. And this, there is not one thing that we grow more than that. See, the problem is, and it's not a problem, is that it's too close. It's kind of choking out that blueberry a little bit. So I want to make room. So the problem, once again, is the solution. It's a problem over here. This comfrey is not even really a problem, but it's a problem right where it is. I don't want it there. So that's the problem. I'm going to make it my solution right over here. Now, over here, got more goldenrod. Usually you can just pull that stuff right up out of the ground, but it's better for me to just kind of basically chop it a little bit. Throw that over here. I got a bunch more goldenrod. So I'm taking that goldenrod, I'm taking that comfrey, which, like I said, this is why we sell it at the website, because there is not one, if you look around here, there is not one thing you will find more of. Has all the protein you need for your animals. We feed it. Right now, this time of year, Michelle's feeding it every night to the sheep. That's where they get their minerals, a lot of it. We feed it to the chickens, especially when we're using systems like the chicken tractor on steroids. We use that stuff everywhere. But I'm telling you what, this is one of the chief areas we do it as well. Let me clear out this little patch of goldenrod and get some more comfrey. We'll get a bed down here and then we'll go to step 2. Phase 1 is in place. All this comfrey, all of that goldenrod is now where it ought to be. This is my solution over here. This is my green manure. Now, depending on where you are, you may change up the steps a little bit here. We are in our rainy season right now in this temperate rainforest. But just for GP, I don't necessarily need to do this. Not here because it just rained. This ground is moist. But it's just good practice to do it anyway. Green manure is present and accounted for and wet. See this here? This is some really awesome cardboard. But if I wanted, I could just randomly lay it down and go right there. But I got a plan. Okay, like I said, this mulch ring here, that mulch ring there, I eventually want to cover this whole area in time, not right now, with wood chips. So I'm going to lay this cardboard down. Check this out. I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to lay it down thick. Not even going to be that discriminate. Now, I want to also give attribution to whom it's due. Jeff Lawton's Instinct Garden was the inspiration. Well, I mean, if I'm honest here, Jeff Lawton is the inspiration for a whole lot of what we do. So this is how we're doing it. We're going to lay this cardboard, and as you can see, it's thick. You can go 3 high. You can go as much as you want. So I'm going to get the rest of that cardboard. I'm going to cover up this area where my green mulch is. So let me get that and we'll get hopping and popping. I'm literally gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and fool around. If it overlaps, good. Because all that cardboard, these little corrugations in there become little super highways for baby worms, you dig? So that's exactly what I'm trying to cord in here. Look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna tie this ring in too. At the end of the day, I'm not even a vegetable farmer. I'm not anything else. I'm a microbe farmer. If I got to be labeled something, that's really what it comes down to. So for all of the people out there that put in orchards and stuff like that, and you're thinking, okay, I got all this extra space in between the aisles, could you alley crop there? Could you do a syntropic design? Could you, if it were wide enough, let's say we weren't the distance here, let's say you got 30 feet between your rows. Could you run your animals through there? Because we have. In fact, William's working on the very site we had in the past where we did that very thing. So yeah, I'm going in thick. And as you can see, I'm trying to bring my mulch rings. Together. I'm indiscriminate. I don't even care. I don't even care. So I'm going to lay this stuff out. Good, solid, wonderful cardboard. And yeah, there's going to be people out there saying, oh, there's this chemical on the cardboard, or they use glue. Well, I'll tell you what, in the composting process, all those things break down into carbonic acids. If you do it right, they really don't cause much of a problem. So this is the area I got. I'm going to say that's about 12 feet by 10 feet so far. I got all this extra cardboard, and it's really of no consequence if I just cover up what I already had. Now, in the best circumstances, you're better off wetting this stuff up before you get started. Now, that's not a problem for me, and it doesn't have to be in any kind of way, shape, or form, because like I said, I live in a temperate rainforest. In your case, you may want to fill up a wheelbarrow, soak this stuff in there a while, then put it down. But all I'm going to do at this point, and frankly, we got rain practically every day. Look at that, y'all. No time at all. It's all laid out here in the spot that I want. I'm going to wet it down once again. If I wanted to, I could have went ahead and ran a broad fork. I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because I'm going to let my allies, which is my soil life, do all of that exchange for me. And like I said, here in a little bit, I'm going to show you a place where this thing is booming. So, over here, all I'm going to do is take my straw. Well, it's packed a little bit tight. I'm going to shake it out all the way over this cardboard. I'm going to spray it down one more time. So you're probably thinking, Billy, where's the garden? Well, this is it. Okay, let me break this down. We have got an annual garden mixed into a perennial orchard. The bigger plan, ultimately, is to get to the point where this is all perennial. Or I can just go ahead as I wish, make some things perennial, some things annual. Folks, it's entirely up to you. But let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to let this go for 2 weeks. And during that time, right now we got plant starts, and we got basically our lettuces and things that are going to be in a fall garden that are growing up there right now. I'm going to water this every day if it doesn't rain. I'm just going to spray it down a little bit. I'm going to make a cylinder when it's time to plant. Basically take my trowel or a knife, poke a hole through that cardboard, drop a little bit of compost or some really good soil, put my start in there, and then we're off and running. Let me tell you what's happening. Right now, I am feeding my soil microbes and growing myself food all at the same time. Yeah, how cool is that? So that whole soil food web that's down in there, it's getting fed. And despite what people tell you, cardboard's a wonderful thing, it is. So while the soil food web is working on the stuff below, I got the other stuff working up. If I need to, I'll come back out here with another bale of straw. Right now, it's about 8 to 10 inches high, okay? As the microbes eat this down, they're putting it into the soil and they're making it, remember how it was hard to begin with? This one season, this is one of the fastest ways to build soil, y'all. And this is fantastic. So once again, we start with our green manure at the bottom. We got our cardboard. Now we got our carbon on top. All of it's working together. So as this thing is going through and giving us food throughout the fall and winter, the bigger transition is, okay, I'm now left with a choice next year. Do I want to continue this? Because guess what? Homie don't play this going out here weeding stuff. I don't do that. Here's what I'll do. If I want another instant garden, a fall garden or spring garden, whatever the case may be, I'm going to repeat the same process over and over again. I'm not going to worry about weeding, doing all that stuff. No, forget all that. I'm either going to chop and drop it in place if there are any weeds at all, and then I'm going to repeat this same process. Put cardboard over it, straw. I mean, that bale of straw might have been $8. I got $8 into this so far. The seeds were starting up at the house. Folks, we are living in a weird time in the United States of amnesia. And we got to take dogs like this to the hunt to figure out really clever ways to save on a grocery bill, or to not even have to, look, the goal for most of us should probably be that I only need to go to the store for toilet paper and aluminum foil. So outside of that, I want to try to grow as much as I can. So even in this 12 by 10 area in your space, you're thinking, well, I don't have enough room to do any of that. It's too late in the year. I can't do all. Yes, you can. This is how you do it, y'all. Remember, these are not wars we win in miles. We win them in inches. And this is one of the methods we go about doing it. All right. So with this said, I'm going to take you to another spot where we've done exactly the very same procedure. And it's going on 3 years now. Let's go take a look at it. This is an orchard right alongside our driveway here. You dig? Okay. So we did exactly the same thing in our orchard. And I'm telling y'all what, this soil was absolutely horrid. But right now, we got German butterball potatoes all throughout here. They still need to get out of the ground, and it's time for us to get them. Don't worry, we'll take you for the ride on that one. But this is exactly the same thing. So if Michelle decides, and I suspect she will, that as soon as we pull these potatoes out of here, the same thing all over again. Cardboard, mulch, and all these, well, some of the weeds, there's really not that many in here. Forget about a bunch of that, man. I'm not digging up any of that stuff because you don't have to. That's not the way I see nature do it. If I improve the soil, the weeds don't even want to come back. So this is one really awesome way to go about doing this. Throw more cardboard down that didn't cost me anything, and throw another $8 bale of straw down, and I'm ready to get it done here. We're going to show you, we're going to take you along for the ride on that one too. So yes, folks, this is why I'm so excited. This is why permaculture is my passion. It's because, honestly, y'all, this is what wakes me up in the morning. When I go out here and I'm transforming soil and ground and a property that nobody wanted into the envy of where I live. Not because I'm worried about somebody saying, oh, that looks so awesome. It's because I'm feeding myself in ground that wasn't fit to grow anything according to the experts out there. So folks, you can do this. Think about where you can do it. If you got a postage stamp backyard, do you think you can scale this down? Absolutely. For those of you suffering with back problems, you don't want to get out there and till this and that. Look, this solves your problem there as well. For all of you folks that think, okay, I put in an orchard or I put in a food forest, I got all this empty space out here. Use that empty space for the first 3 to 5 years until your tree makes a canopy that you can't use, and then you transition into something else. Folks, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can do this. I know you can. Everybody out there is telling you you can't, but I know you can. I wouldn't be on here doing these videos right now if I didn't believe that this was possible for everybody out there. If you need any of the comfrey we've talked about a little while ago, or bone sauce, world's best deer repellent, we make it right here. Go to our website, go check it out. If you need any of the things we got down below, go check it out. But y'all, more than anything, put foot to butt. Get out there and do this stuff because I know you can do it. All right, until next time, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion. Ain't that right, Milk Bland? You know it is. You know it is.